Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I posted a video earlier today regarding Severodonetsk and Lysychansk, and the article that I had, it stated that the Russians are in control and about to surrender the Ukrainian army, and they are going west. Now I found an article from Ukrainska Pravda that's telling a different story, or maybe just not maybe a different story, maybe it just tells us about some new developments. Nevertheless, this comes, as I said, from Ukrainska Pravda from June 23rd, 2022, and it's from 7:02 p.m. their time. So probably here was what, about noon or something like this, or 1 p.m. I'm not exactly certain what time it is. I'm assuming it's like 7 hours or so. So it should be about noon. So nevertheless, let's see, this article states that Ukrainian armed forces stopped Russian advance on Lysychansk southern outskirts, General Staff reported. Maybe it's just about just the southern outskirts. The armed forces of Ukraine stopped the advance of Russian troops on the southern outskirts of Lysychansk. Russian forces press ahead in Severodonetsk, where fighting continues. Source, General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on Facebook information as of 6 o'clock p.m. on today, 23rd of June. Details. On the Slovyansk front, Russian occupying forces are firing on civilian infrastructure. Well, I don't know. And then it says Ukrainian troops repelled the Russian assault near Dolnya and Bohordishe. And so they are, and then on the Severodonetsk front, where we're talking about here, Russian occupying forces opened fire with tanks. All right, let's see, where is this? Open fire with tanks, mortars, tube and rocket artillery in the area around Sironte, Lysychansk, Severodonetsk, Voronezh, and Mirna Dolna. Units of the 2nd Army Corps, supported by units of the Russian Guard, are conducting assault operation in order to establish full control over Severodonetsk. So this is just a new development from the one I posted earlier today. Fighting continues. The General Staff reported that the Ukrainian armed forces stopped the advance of Russian forces, which were advancing this earlier today when I posted that video. Stopped the advance of Russian forces on the southern outskirts of Lysychansk. Ukrainian forces inflicted significant losses on Russia's forces and forced them to retreat. Russia is deploying reservists in order to replenish its losses. Ukrainian defenders repelled Russian assault operations near Borivka. Russian forces conducted reconnaissance in force near the village of Bila Hora and continued to advance near Rai Oleksandrivka, where fighting continued. So it's heavy fighting over there, and it seems like the Russians were gaining territory, were controlling Severodonetsk, which I think is all in their hand, including part of the Azot plant, chemical plant, where some civilians and some Ukrainian fighters are trapped, and they were trying to cross, the Severodonetsk River to cross to Lysychansk and go from there towards west. I don't know how far they would need to go, because the Russians do not intend, I haven't heard that yet, any official claiming that they will conquer Ukraine. So I don't know. All they said that they will take care of the eastern part of Ukraine, where it's majority Russian-speaking people over there that were, in the Russians' way of seeing things, massacre, genocide, by the Ukrainian forces. That's why they had to intervene. That's why when this guy said it's unprovoked and I'm this, I mean, unprovoked could be anything. You can say, well, it's provoked because you are killing my people over there. How about that? Is that provoked? I mean, there's no doubt that there was an armed conflict between the Russian, Ukrainian eastern side, where the Russians they declared autonomy after the coup in 2014, and they said we don't recognize the new government over there because it just deposed a legitimate government through a armed insurrection. I want to call it not insurrection. It was just a coup d'état. It was just a overthrow of a government with the help of foreign services. And these guys in the east said, well, we don't recognize that. In the meantime, you ban our language in this and this and this. So you basically are just against us. So that's how the whole thing started over there. But nevertheless, according to the Ukrainians, they stopped the Russian offensive. We'll see what happens. I don't think they're going to last long, but nevertheless, this is just my gut feeling. It's not. It's based on the mass media and some politicians' statements and how they change the tune when they report the news. They insert from time to time some facts that are really running against their narrative, where they say, well, the Ukraine is losing here, maybe Ukraine is doing this, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sure if that's because they want to create a view that they can use to mold more support, military support from the Western countries. We're losing, and if you don't help us, we're all going to die, and that probably is going to be on you. So this is a technique of, shifting blame and, guilt, building guilt to the Western supporters. And we'll see. Now, 4 units of long-range rocket launchers systems arrived from the United States. They're very excited about it. Those could be taken with 4 rockets by the Russians. Boom, 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 and boom. And then they said they will expect 4 more units. That's good. That supposedly they don't have an area, they don't cover an area bigger than 50 miles, and they will not, pinky promise, they had pinky promise the Americans will not shoot them to reach Russian territory. Well, the Russians, if that would be the case, could always blame and say, yes, they hit us. These guys were going to deny. The Americans are going to believe the Ukrainians, and that means the pinky promise is forever there because you can prove they didn't. The other guy's going to claim whatever they want to claim. This guy's going to deny how much they want. The other ones are going to believe only one side. So there you have it. So that pinky promise that was just, shown in front of our TV and TV screens and cameras and articles is just zero because it's based on who believes who. The same thing with those American prisoners of war. Russia says they're mercenaries, criminals of war. What is the United States going to do? What can you do? Not much. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.